Now, you have districts around you that have four-year-old kindergarten, and you probably have residents who are saying we should have four-year-old kindergarten. We've been working with the Muskego-Norway district, and their school board has been really measuring what is the effectiveness, because they were looking at it, and each year they're re-evaluating whether it's something they should continue to do. One of them is dollar-wise they're looking at, but the other is student achievement. But what they're finding is that the student achievement has been tremendous for those kids going into four-year-old kindergarten. So it's not the student achievement that there is some hesitation on. It is, what are the dollars? Should we continue to do it dollar-wise? They had this pilot that they looked at, and they were going to make a long-term decision this last school year. And they said, let's look at it one more year. Now, some of the things are financially. There is a 3-year rolling average as to student aid. So the first year, you take and use a 3-year average. Well, you don't have students for 3 years, so you're taking those students that year and dividing it by 3 years. So in essence, you're getting a third of the kids funded. The second year, almost all the districts are finding by the second year, they're getting enough funding to cover that. The third year, they're able, actually lacrosse did it, they actually borrowed money from a bank to fund this, because by the third year they were paying off, and they found that the payoff was about a 5-year period to cover those first 2 years of deficits. And then by the third year, there's surpluses that can pay off that initial startup costs. So there is some financial benefits to this program, and districts are finding that it helps their overall budgets. So it's districts are all over the place. Now, the other aspect of four-year-old kindergarten is parents' needs. Certain districts, like Elmbrook and Mequon, have a lot of stay-at-home moms. So they aren't in as much need, but there are districts like Waukesha or some others, Watertown. There's a lot of working mothers. So what do I do with my child if they're going to a half-day program, which is the funding for four-year-old kindergarten? How do I do this? You can provide bus transportation, but where do those kids go if mom's not at home? Well, then they can possibly go to child care centers. But then you're busing kids in the morning from a place to a four-year-old kindergarten and back to another community agency, a daycare center or something like that. So there's a lot of transition. So there's districts. We just started working with Oconomowoc District. They started four-year-old kindergarten, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. And what was happening is, once you provide it, parents in Oconomowoc were open enrolling into another district that provided full-day services, that actually had it in a community agency that had full-day services. So they were actually losing 20 kids out of their district. Okay? So what they did with us this last year is we are providing a four-year-old kindergarten in our building, and so they can have full-day services and serving those kids, where the rest of them are all in the school district building. So each community, you have to look at what is the needs of the families. Is there a big need for full-day services? Linsmeier is a small district. They have 2 4K classrooms. I'm sorry. They have 4 sections, 2 4K classrooms. But what's happening is there's kids that need full-day services. So what we're doing with them is we're coming into that agent and into the district, and we're providing wraparound services. So we're providing the full-day services, and then they go into the 4K classroom for their period of time. So there's a lot of different needs and a lot of different thoughts on how to serve these families. But the first thing is it needed? Student achievement, especially in your neighboring, right in Muskego, Norway, is showing that there is, and that is very very broad. You'll see that throughout the state. There is some real student achievement. But now, is it something you want to fund? Is it something that is right for this school district? So that's the information I wanted to present to you, but I really would like to open it up for questions you may have on this, on 4-year-old kindergarten.